New official greeting now. Good morning, everyone. Will you please join with me in prayer? Precious Father in heaven, we bow before you, seeking your blessings upon the San Angelo City Council and our city as we face a major threat to our health due to the spread of coronavirus across the nation and around the world. We praise and thank you that as of today, there are no reports of anyone contracting the virus here in San Angelo. We thank you for giving Mayor Gunter the wisdom and strength to implement a state of emergency mandating that meetings of more than 49 people are prohibited during this emergency as a precaution against the spread of COVID-19. We ask that you bless our council members to conduct today's meeting in a way that will glorify you as they address the business of the day. We pray for your divine protection, not only for residents and workers in San Angelo, but for everyone across America and around the world. We are so blessed because we stand on your word that says, "Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord." In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Today we only have one proclamation, and I believe Dave Erickson is here to accept that, so if you would please come forward. Proclamation of Texas Small Business Development Center Day. The Texas Small Business Development Center Network has provided small business assistance starting and growing Texas's small businesses. The 2019 record year for Texas SBDC shows clients created 16,585 jobs, new tax revenue generated of $147 million with new sales of $2.3 billion, and new financing and investments of $8 billion. The Angelo State University SBDC continues to demonstrate the hard work and commitment that has helped Texas become the nationwide leader in job creation and small business growth. Therefore, I, Brenda Gunter, Mayor of the City of San Angelo, Texas, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim March 18th as Texas Small Business Development Center Day in San Angelo, Texas, and call this observance to the attention of all our citizens. I'm going to give you the proclamation. Would you like to offer a few words?
I would, yes,
Please.
Well, thank you, Mayor and City Council, for this proclamation accepted on behalf of the SBDC staff and the many small businesses we serve. And just a word on the small businesses and local businesses. There are a lot of challenges right now. We're here to help them and serve them in any way we can. I encourage you to send folks our way if we can help them, if you think we can help them. And also, please help support local businesses. It's a great time to focus on that, especially food service businesses, and to help them through this crisis we can. So thank you, Mayor and City Council, for this. Appreciate it.
Mayor, I'll speak as you make your way back up here. I have used the services of Dave and the SBDC, and they are wonderful people over there. When I went completely and totally on my own in business, I used them, and I can't say enough good things about them. Dave, thank you for what you did for me and what you do for the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Tommy. We will now open the meeting for public comment. We ask that anyone who comes forward to please state their name and address or SMD, and ask that each citizen speak just once per item unless asked to comment by council. Public comment shall be 3 minutes unless extended by council or translation services. The proponent or opponent is 5 minutes unless extended by council or translation services. Council has no obligation to respond to comments or questions from the public. Any response from a member of the City Council to non-agenda comments is limited to a statement of specific factual information, reciting of existing policy, and directing staff to place the subject on a future agenda. I'm going to start with public comment today to talk about the declaration of public health emergency that we issued yesterday. I'm going to read this first, and then I'm going to propose a few questions to our city attorney so she can answer some of the questions I think many people out there have certainly been asking me to create some clarification. Ensuring the health of our community, protecting our citizens is the City of San Angelo's #1 priority right now. As the coronavirus pandemic continues to spread across the world, it is crucial that we take steps to ensure the health of our community. While we currently have 0, and as of today, we still have 0 reported cases of COVID-19, we want to ensure that we're taking measures to prevent any spread of the disease should a positive case arise. There are no positive cases. In order to accomplish this, I am declaring a public health emergency in the City of San Angelo. Our goal is to prevent and, if necessary, control the spread of the disease. This declaration prohibits gatherings of more than 50 people in one space, whether in a public or private space. This does not include places where citizens can be within arm's length of one another, such as grocery stores, transit stations, hospitals, or shopping malls. The local health authority has determined that such measures will not only prevent or control the spread of the disease, it will also keep our healthcare resources from becoming overwhelmed. We strongly encourage that citizens stay home if they feel sick, and as always, please practice good hygiene. Wash your hands for 20 seconds with soap and water, use hand sanitizer, and do not touch your face. Together, as a community, we will get through this. Let's help each other out by being cautious and calm. There is no need to shop the grocery stores like the apocalypse is upon us. Buy only what you need and be considerate of your neighbors. As a reminder, any positive cases of coronavirus will be confirmed to the City Public Health Department and distributed to the public via the City Public Information Office. Be sure to follow the City of San Angelo, Texas Facebook page or visit COSATX.us for all updates. We once again want to remind everybody that we are using the CDC guidelines as our public information. What do you need to do? We do not need to create separate regulations for us here in the city of San Angelo other than what we have done. And I'm going to ask Teresa if you could define what that 50 people means. I know some people said, but wait a minute, my bar is 4,000 square feet. Why am I limited to 50 people if somebody who's got 1,000 square feet also can have 50? So maybe you want to explain the 50 person and what that means to everyone.
50, everybody says, where did you get that number? And I saw somebody ask the gentleman from the CDC, where did they get that number? And it's an estimate of what is safe. Really what we're looking for is, do you have enough room to keep people at arm's distance? So one of the big questions I got yesterday is, what about churches? Well, if a church can segregate its congregation to the point where families might be closer than arm's length, but other people are outside of an arm's length, then that would comply with this. Restaurants and bars, we met with the Restaurant Association yesterday, and they have taken lots of steps already to help with this, but one thing they're also considering is a little more distancing of people in their restaurants. So it's really not the size of the building. The number is 50 because that is what the CDC recommended early yesterday. Now the CDC is recommending 10, which I think is showing a heightened concern. But really what we're looking for is the number of people in the facility and can everybody stay at arm's distance.
We want to repeat some of those key messages from CDC. Once again, they are: clean your hands often, 20 seconds, use hand sanitizer, avoid close contact. Some people say 6 feet, some people say 3 feet. Obviously, you need to make a judgment call. Give yourself social distancing. Now, we know this word social distancing is something we've never, ever thought we would have to talk about, so it's kind of a new terminology. But let's make sure we are protecting ourselves. Stay home if you're sick. But remember, this is also allergy season, so having a runny nose and coughing does not mean you have the disease. Remember, it's allergy season. We still have respiratory issues that have been going on for months. Cover your mouth. Cough into your elbow. Cover your mouth if you sneeze or you cough. Remember to clean and disinfect regularly. And one of the key things is take your temperature regularly. We do not want to overwhelm the hospitals. And so we ask that all of you be considerate of that issue. And we certainly, if you need further information, you have my city cell phone number on the website. Call us or call your council members for further clarification of it. But most importantly, let's be kind. Let's not shove and get into fights in the grocery stores or the big box stores. Remember, the supplies are going to come back. The shelves are going to get full again. So thank you for the consideration. All right, we will open up for further public comment. Do I have any?
My name's Craig Myers. I'm a resident at 19 North Washington in San Angelo. This morning, the mayor was scheduled to provide a proclamation proclaiming that this was World Without Hate Week. And also, she and the city council were invited to a meeting with the speaker for the event that we had scheduled at St. Mark Church to talk about how to use our different positions in the city to reduce the amount of hate speech and divisive language and what people from any political party or any segment of our society recognize this has been a real problem for a while. The speaker we'd planned for 5 months to have, and he's quite an exceptional person who was a victim of hate crime just after 9/11 and survived and became a worker for peace and unity in the country. He's a speaker on the Speakers Bureau of the United States government and has worked with people all over the country. Last week, we realized, for reasons that the mayor has explicated, that we had the necessity, civil responsibility to cancel what we had. However, we wanted to just tell people in the city, and thanking the council for their support, and the mayor especially, that this will be rescheduled. But in the meantime, the problem of the divisive speech we've had goes on, and particularly in this time when we need to be working together as citizens with one real common cause now, that we be especially sensitive to all the ways not only that we think about other people, but the ways we respond to them, and ultimately the way we speak about people and to people. We are citizens of a great city here, which has some advantages of working toward unity in ways that some other cities our size haven't. So we thank you for your support, and we will have the program at an appropriate time in the future. And we just urge folks in the community to be sensitive to the special need right now to treat each other civilly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Craig. Do I have further public comment at this point? With none, we will close the public comment portion of the agenda, and we will move on into the consent agenda. I'm going to start with Billy and ask if there's anything she'd like to pull from the consent agenda. Lane? I'm going to pull item D. Harry?
No.
Tom?
I'm good.
Tommy?
No, ma'am.
All right, then do I have a motion to approve all items except for D?
So move.
So moved by Harry. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Tommy. All in favor? Oh, any public comment? With none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Consent agenda passes 6-0. And I'm going to read item D. Consider approving a task order with Protect Hibbs and Todd Incorporated, EHT, under RFQ ES 0619 for professional services in the amount of $550,000 for the completion of the design for College Hills from Loop 306 to Avenue N, and authorizing the city manager to negotiate and execute all related documents. Is Kevin here today? Yes, thank you, Kevin. Good morning. I really pulled this for an opportunity to talk about College Hills, because I know this is, other than Bell Street, this has been one of the streets that so often people are complaining about, and rightfully so. It's in bad shape. So I just want you to kind of give us a time frame in terms of this design, what we're looking at in the time frame, what citizens can expect.
Currently, the engineering package is at 60.
Would you please talk into the microphone?
Currently, the engineering package is at 60% complete. I would imagine it's going to be 8 to 12 months to finish, maybe sooner. It will be on College Hills from Loop 306 to Avenue N, I believe.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
So the engineering piece of it is another will take 8 to 10 months in terms of doing the final engineering study.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
The contract was initially awarded at $1.2 million. That contract was canceled when the build grant was applied for. We didn't get the build grant, and then we renegotiated the contract for about $1.05 million.
Okay.
So we got a little bit of a break there.
Do I have further questions from council for Kevin? No, with none? All right, thank you, Kevin. With that, may I have a motion to pass item D?
So moved.
By Lane, seconded by Harry. Any public comment? With no public comment, we will take a vote. All in favor of passing item D on the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
With none opposed, motion passes 6-0. We will now move into the regular agenda. Comments regarding items on the regular agenda may be made by the public when each item is discussed as outlined above. Applicants, proponents, and appellants are accepted from the time limit above, and instead must limit their remarks to less than 5 minutes. So on item A, consider a resolution with respect to Republic Services Incorporated project and authorizing Mayor Gunter to execute certificates approving the resolution and public hearing. Do we have Jeremy Miller here?
Here.
Yes.
Good morning, Mayor, Council.
Good morning.
Mr. Valenzuela. This item today was brought to you at the request of Republic Services in order to satisfy some state and local or federal requirements regarding some refinancing of tax-exempt bonds, in which a portion of the proceeds could be used at our landfill in San Angelo for routine capital expenditures. Mr. McCormick with Community Development Associates was scheduled to attend today to present the item. However, he recently came down with some flu-like symptoms, so given our current climate, it was mutually decided he not attend. But I do have Mr. Joe Spano here today with Republic Services, the Municipal Services Manager, so he'll be here to speak to you and answer any questions you may have.
Okay, thank you. Joe?
Good morning, Mayor, Council, Mr. Valenzuela. Thanks for having me. I do have a 2-hour PowerPoint if y'all would want me to bring it up.
It's a short agenda, so.
So for fear of redundancy, what Jeremy said is exactly correct, right? So these bond dollars have already been approved by the Texas Bond Review Board, and before they can be accessed by Republic to do the necessary improvements to our over 29 facilities in Texas, facilities being landfills, they have to be approved by the cities and counties in which those landfills are located. So it's really a box check, right? It's federal and state law. So we're here just to, I can answer any questions as far as what we use the monies for, but
You would explain that
I
so
would.
everyone
So
understands?
facility improvements, right? So they can be anything from improvements to the leachate systems and things of that nature, to build new cells, right? To expand landfills. So really any improvement that is made to the actual landfill is basically what these are used for.
And specifically for our landfill?
Correct. It would be building a new cell, right? Which we would be working on.
So it's building a new one, not adding to the existing one, meaning additional height?
Correct. We are not going up.
That's the question.
Out. Correct.
Okay. Any further questions
Mayor?
from City Council? Just a minute, Teresa. Yes.
Mr. McCormick did provide comments that I want to read into the
Sure.
record so that we have all this detail. He said, "Good morning, Mayor and Council. Republic Services is looking to issue up to $480,900,000 of tax-exempt bonds under a 3-year plan of finance, with $86 million to be issued in 2020. The Texas Bond Review Board has awarded $86 million of tax-exempt bond allocation for the current year financing. Bond proceeds will be used to finance improvements at 29 Republic Service facilities in Texas, including their facility located in the city of San Angelo. In order to permit Republic Services to use proceeds of tax-exempt bonds for the solid waste disposal facilities located in San Angelo, approval of the City Council is required under Texas law pursuant to the Development Corporation Act, Local Government Code Chapter 501 is amended, and under federal law pursuant to Section 147F of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 as amended. The Texas law requirement approves the Mission Economic Development Corporation issuing bonds for the portion of the project located in the city of San Angelo, and the federal law requirement is for the public hearing that was held for this item. There is no risk or liability to the city with regards to approving the resolution, and it will not affect the city's bonding capacity. Thank you.
Does council have any questions or comments regarding those statements? Okay. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
All right. With that, do I have a motion to approve 7A?
So moved.
So moved by Tommy, a second by Lane. Any public comment? With none, we'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Motion passes 6-0. With that, we will move into the closed session. Executive session under the provision of Government Code Title V, Open Government Ethics, Subtitle A, Open Government Chapter 551, Open Meetings, Subchapter D, exceptions to requirement that meetings be open under the following sections. A, 551.071, consultation with attorney regarding 1, the Ford Ranch, 2, West Texas Water Partnership, 3, Wardlow versus the City of San Angelo and Life Point Church. With that, we will adjourn, and thank you for being here this morning. We're waiting for Tommy Hebert to return to his chair.
Hebert.
He's walking the aisle now.
I added that comma.
With that, we will call the regular meeting back to order. And so we are going to have an announcement by Tom Thompson on items that were discussed in the closed session.
We'll make a motion to sell to Riverbend, Texas, LLC, and High Point Ranch Expansion, LLC, 864 acres out of the southeast corner of the Ford Ranch with a 30-day option for the purchase of an additional 400 acres and authorizing the city manager to execute any and all documents necessary.
It's a motion, a second by Harry Thomas, and any public comment? With none, we'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed, motion passes 6-0. We'll move on to discuss proposed dates for council budget workshops. That would be a proposed of July 14th for the enterprise funds and August 11th for the general fund. Do any of you have issues with those two dates? And we certainly, if something comes up in the calendar, can re-look at that. But I think for today, let's go with those dates.
Go with them today, but
And then we might have to change them, but let's put it on the calendars, and if we need to change, so just make us aware of any requests to change. That would be great. So announcements, one thing I wanted from Drew Darby's office, Cheryl De Cordova wanted me to make sure everybody understood that this is the following website, apps.cdc.gov/coronavirus/2019-ncov/index.html. That will have further information from the CDC, and Drew Darby just wanted to make sure everybody had that website to follow up on what's happening across the country.
Mayor,
Yes.
we also got a message when they were asking for announcing that they still need people to give blood, those kind of things. So this, restriction of 50 people doesn't prohibit you from going to give blood, those kind of things where there's small gatherings.
But you do need to check with the blood bank, because we don't know if there's restrictions for them giving blood right now because of what's going on. So if you are a blood giver, please check with them for instruction.
Mayor, on
Yes, Tommy.
the website you just gave us, is that something you could give to the city manager or city clerk and then let them push that out to us?
Sure.
Yeah,
If you go
that'd
to
be great.
cdc.gov, that is at the very top of that webpage.
And it's easy enough.
Okay.
If you just do that,
Okay.
you go through the page, and this is a lot longer, but I know yesterday I just kept pulling up cdc.gov and found all the information
Okay.
I needed. Makes it simple and easy.
That may be
and
good for the citizens to know.
non-complicated.
Yeah.
Okay, any other announcements at this point? With none, I will take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
So moved by Tommy, seconded by Elaine. Any opposition to that motion? With none, we will take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Let's go do our business. Let's make San Angelo healthy, wealthy, and wise.